Welcome back to the railway station, the railway museum in Utrecht, the venue of round 10 of the Tata Steel chess tournament. One of the two rounds that are not being played in Wijk aan Zee, but elsewhere. The first one was in Amsterdam, in the Nemo Science Museum. Today we are guests at the Railway Museum, a fantastic museum. With us now, Mickey Adams, who won a nice game against Sergei Karyakin. How did you like the museum during the brief tour that we had before the round?
No, it was quite nice. There were a lot of trains and
a lot of trains.
And I saw them. Yeah, it was good.
Those trains, they didn't take you by surprise. You had expected those.
I suppose it wasn't totally unexpected. Yeah. No.
You ever played in a museum before? Or?
Yeah, I guess so. During the Alekhine Memorial that we were at, I guess we were in museums a few times. Probably quite a lot. I think also there was an open tournament. Liverpool was in a museum, European City of Culture tournament. So probably quite a lot. I just don't remember too well.
No. Well, you had an interesting game today. You so far your tournament hasn't gone that well, but today you won a good game against Sergei Karyakin. Not a player who loses that much. So how did that go?
Yeah, I mean, he went for this kind of, super modern line with 2 bishop f4, which people like to play these days. I mean, I don't know.
Is this the accelerated London system? Or?
Well, I think it might be called the Grishchuk system, maybe. I don't know. I mean, he'd obviously done rather, I mean, I assumed we were just he just wanted to play and get some position because I was not in the best shape, but he had obviously done a bit of research. I mean, we played quite fast. I mean, I guess a lot of the moves are a bit strange, but Black has a kind of clear plan.
Can you take us through the game and say what was strange?
Well, I mean, okay, these moves are quite common at least. I mean, actually, this system that I played was recommended, I think, in a book by Avruk that was quite good on these kind of sidelines. And he basically, proposed this idea to play this knight e7, knight f5, and later on possibly bishop e7 to bring the knight back to d6, and control the e4 square. And it was always working out quite well. But in the variations he had, White was castling kingside,
but
when White doesn't really get much play then.
But so if White plays bishop f2, how do you get your knight to d6 in that case?
Well, bishop f2, I might just go knight e4 immediately.
Okay.
Because Black can also jump knight e4 and f6 in some positions. Well, in fact, knight e4, that's probably why white should play queen f3 to prevent that.
Yeah, then he covers the e4
Immediately,
square. Yeah.
bishop h4, I think also knight e4 looks like an f6 is coming again. So, I mean, he went for this. I mean, I kind of understood that this was probably what was coming, but it's sort of fairly forcing, because now, I mean, he's preparing g4, so I have to give the knight a square, somewhere to go anyway. And, okay, I mean, I got this knight to e4, but on the other hand, he's going to presumably either castle queenside or leave his king in the centre, and he obviously wants to play some kingside attack quite fast.
But you mean that when you looked at this line, you didn't consider castling queenside?
No, I mean, well, okay, when I say I looked at the line, I entered some line from the book fairly quickly and thought that looks okay for black. Anyway.
But actually,
not going to see this against some strong player.
Magnus Carlsen commented on this. He said that obviously Kayaka must have missed something, otherwise he wouldn't go for this position. But, but he actually went for this position deliberately.
He said this position, well, he thought CD4 was, he said the movie had the most stuff on.
But C4 looks very natural also.
C4, yeah, I mean, here I was kind of thinking that bishop takes E4, I was thinking. And, I mean, I was thinking a little bit about this variation in the end. I mean, I don't know, something like B5, let's say, rook G1. Well, I don't know when I play knight. Probably I have to play knight f5 at some moment, but something like this, because he can just play rook g3, because I can't take, and rook h3.
Do you play g6 here?
I think I should play g6, and then I don't know, some retreat, and he is coming h4, h5. I mean, this is, I wasn't really sure what was happening. I mean, I can play something like b4, and perhaps he kind of defends.
That looks good for black, yeah? This.
Well, I don't know. I mean, h4, h5 could happen. I really wasn't sure what was happening. It was totally unclear to me. I mean, that was one thing I thought he could do, or also he can just play perhaps queen to g4. I suppose that's a more normal move in a way, and then just to play h4, h5 very quickly. So I don't know. Maybe I start. It's not clear. I can also start with bishop d5,
but by b5 looks.
b5 looks natural, and then I thought h4 he could maybe.
You're not worried about g6 at some point?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's another. That's one maybe I should put in. I wasn't sure. I mean, I wasn't sure exactly how to deal with this either.
But this looks actually more promising than the other line for him.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I have to do something like this and just try to control g6. Maybe I can take and play h6. I mean, something like this I was thinking. But, you know, it's not...
But he doesn't have so many pieces for the attack, yeah?
It may not be so easy
to... because the bishop and f2 and the knight on d2 are a bit... Yeah.
But there are, you know, there is always some kind of ideas, though. I mean, even if he plays something like g6, which looks a bit strange. Takes...
h6, yeah.
h6. Maybe some kind of rook h5, knight f7, and we can try and take here or something. I don't know, but I was thinking he was going to do something like that anyway. Because just bishop c2, I mean, he was thinking so long, I thought maybe he's going to do it, but it seemed to me a bit strange. Just because queen h3, I mean... Well, the problem is now if he takes on e4, it just looks like a worse version of... It sort of looks slow now.
Did he say something about why he thought so long on that move?
No, okay, we only had a brief chat. I mean, queen h3, b4 looks...
b4 is good,
looks
of course,
quite tempting. No, I mean here, I don't know, I thought maybe here, I thought he probably had to take actually, just, or taking was better at least. I mean, I was quite tempted by a5 here.
b5 maybe?
b5 here, I wasn't sure b5 was, maybe I can go a4 even, or I can also a3 and knight b5 and c3 is coming. No, actually I thought, I mean at first I thought this is just very good for black, because here I think I can, you know, giving the exchange is very strong, but he said, well maybe even here he can play like a4. And he just goes bishop c3, king d2, and at least his king found somewhere safe. I mean, I was actually thinking about a4 immediately, but it's the same idea that it takes. And then white will just put bishop back to c3, king d2, and then his position is not so... I mean, obviously black has some compensation, but white's position is quite... I mean, I thought this was a big opportunity for him, because at least he gets quite a playable position. I mean, because in the game, I think just when he went rook g1, I just think this b3, probably f5.
Also, queen a5 was quite good, yeah?
Immediately?
Instead of b3. I was looking with Giri.
Okay.
Because we have queen a5.
Okay.
If you take on b4, later there's a trick. Queen takes a2. Knight b5.
You mean bishop?
Knight takes c3 and bishop takes b4.
Okay, yeah, so he's not in time to...
Yeah.
So, yeah, some other possibilities.
There's also, so for many reasons, for different reasons,
yeah, I mean,
c
again...
takes b was the move.
See, because I think he just needs to get rid of some attackers. Because, I felt with this pawn on b3, I thought...
Also quite nice, yeah.
Looks quite... I mean, I think f5 is quite a good idea, just because... he's more or less forced to take it, because otherwise his bishop on b1 is just dead. But then I can take this knight on e5, which is by far white's best piece, so it's nice to have this option.
Very good from a strategical point of view, yeah, already.
Yeah.
Did you see any defense for white here?
I don't know, I thought he might play knight g4 maybe, but it's difficult. I mean, really, he wants to make c4 work, but it's just never going to work, because tactically there's always some pin on the c line.
So there's no counterplay. You can always push your a pawn if you wish.
Yeah, I mean, I have a long-term threat to go a5, a4, a3.
Yeah.
Well, if the pawn gets to a3, the game is more or less already over. So it's only 3 moves. I don't know. I mean, rook g4 I don't think really helped, because knight f5 now e3 is hanging in so many different variations. And I mean, actually, I thought he might go king d2, but once he did it, I realised this queen a5 is just more or less winning, because queen a1 is coming, and well, the king, I mean, he can go back with the king to c1, but he's just pinned everywhere, and the position, well, it's just a very bad position basically, and it fell apart pretty quickly, which I was happy that I didn't have to make too many challenging decisions in my current form. So I mean, I more or less was winning so easily. It wasn't possible to mess up.
Were you puzzled that you win so easily against? I mean, he's a very solid player.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay. Of course, I had half out of 4 actually against him before today, and well, I mean, everything just looked disastrous, really. So I don't know, but I mean, I didn't win a game for I think 23 games or something. So I mean, either meant that I was never going to win a game, or eventually it would happen. So I guess.
Well, yeah, but on the other hand,
I'm glad it was the latter.
You were also helped that he was probably very ambitious in this game. Yeah. But,
yeah, I mean, I don't know, probably he didn't need to be very ambitious, because so far against me you just need to get some completely normal position, and then I played 2 or 3 really stupid moves in a row, so perhaps he should just have played more classically. He didn't need to try and go for something so sharp, but okay, I mean, you know, who knows when an opening choice is good. It's very much depends on the day.
Yeah, but it does come as a relief to win a game again.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's and also if it didn't go well today, it wouldn't be very happy for the last 3 games. I mean, at least now I feel a bit better and a bit more cheerful for those games to come.
Yeah, because how do you deal with that kind of thing? I mean, if there's a period where you're not winning games, is that something you can defend yourself against? Or?
Well, it depends a lot how you're playing. The problem is I played really badly. Several of the games here, 3 of the games I lost were just the first round. I thought, okay, it was, wasn't so bad. I mean, I was a bit worse from the opening, and I was suffering the whole game, and losing, that can happen. But other 3 games, I was just destroying very respectable positions for no reason, under no real pressure. And then of course
You were better against Seirawan,
yeah, and Mamedyarov also at some moment I had to completely safe and huge
Sure.
position.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, against Magnus yesterday,
Could you
my
actually-
position was very, was very normal, and then, next minute I'm already just lost. It's.
But could you actually hold the position if you moved your knight to f6 instead of d6? Or do you think it's still lost?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that bit I didn't really hold against myself too much. I mean, by that stage it was, I was.
It was not easy to win for White with the 3 pawns.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't really look at that so much. No, I mean, also around the time control, it was a bit strange that I was just giving away all these queenside pawns. I mean, I think I could, if I maybe defended some of them, then, practically at least it would be a bit more difficult for him. But I was also a bit encouraged by all these pawns advancing on the king side, but he was rightly contemptuous of that.
But do you think that he overlooked something or not when he played b4? Or do you think he did this deliberately, going for that position?
Yeah, I somehow thought he was winning easier some way, but I think at some moment he just decided, this was practical, and he started playing very fast, and maybe it was a good decision. I don't know.
Do you have a quick look at the 2 games that are still on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's Ding Liren against Luc van Wely.
Yeah.
Where Luc had a winning position, and
now it is
now it's
not pleasant.
Is it not pleasant or is it lost?
It should be lost, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit tough psychologically because it looked like he was doing very well, and
he was winning at some moment.
Well, and the sad story is that he had exactly the same scenario last year when he was also winning against Ding Liren with black.
Yeah, but look,
and then in the end he managed to lose.
It was a position like, somehow everything went very well till this moment, yeah. He could simply play knight e3, yeah. Look.
knight d3.
Now, it doesn't matter whether you play this or not, but I mean, that's
Would you just go g4?
Yeah.
No,
well, there's no move here. Do you see something that could maybe resist a3 maybe? But no, that doesn't look very good. As g takes f now, it doesn't solve anything.
Yeah, so this is what he missed, and then he ended up in what he's got now. What do you think, Mickey? Does he have chances for survival, or is it bleak?
Well, I mean, he has some chances to fight, but obviously it's pretty lousy position. And
No, but till this moment he was more or less okay. I mean, he played.
Yeah, I mean, I was
played
watching a bit
a5.
of the time scramble. I mean, I guess that it was.
a5 is actually a very strange move, yeah. Giving this bishop the square. Yeah, now we have this position. Yeah, this is similar to an old game between Tal and Lubojevich from Wijk aan Zee 1973.
In what way was it similar?
Same, also rook, bishop, and knights. And normally black. Well, I mean, there's some technical difficulties to win the game, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not an easy.
But
win,
probably you have to bring your rook around to the f-file, f3. But you have a problem that your king is not completely safe if the knight leaves the f1 square.
Yeah, I mean, if white could get rook to f3 and he's ready to go knight e3, then already it's.
Yeah, then you have to try to give checks, yeah.
But, yeah, it's going to be hard to give enough.
But it doesn't look like anyway. The white king can probably escape also to the queen side.
Yeah, it's.
Looks like may take some time, but it's lost.
But that, well, your suggestion actually sounds rather quick, right? You take the rook to f3, and then.
Well, maybe black has to try and be ready to go f5 g4 or something, and some just to open the king, and then at least he can give some checks.
Yeah.
But
And you should probably start with a move like, well, because
probably
you have
queen
otherwise
c3 or something
queen
like that,
to queen
maybe just-
b4 maybe.
Yeah, some queen to a dark square to
Yeah.
give some checks, and so at least he's ready with knight e3, queen e1 now, so white would at least have to come back with the rook. But
Yeah, but maybe you can go to d5.
you can
yeah?
also maybe go to d5.
Yeah. This is a problem for black because now you no checks and
Yeah.
So no fun for Luc van Wely.
no, it is actually I would hate to play this position with black.
Well, so does he probably.
I don't think there are many volunteers here.
So no volunteers to be black in this game. And the other game, Jan, we still have.
We have one more game,
We've
yeah.
won against.
It
Pavel
does look also
Elyanov.
like a technical win, but easier even. Yeah.
We've had a nice position, and
Yeah, but we were not sure actually because I was talking with Anish first. We thought it was quite good for white, but we couldn't see it actually. Probably Elyanov had quite a deep idea there that worked. Now this is just lost, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was probably winning even easier somewhere around the time control, but yeah, it was clear he was going to manage anyway in the worst case scenario, just to get something like this with extra exchange, and well, queen d5 is threatened, yeah, so there is no way to get these pawns going, so you know the rook will cover
And that
any
makes-
passed pawn on the queen side, so then there is not really much. There is not much hope for Petrol because the queen is. So it's hard to see much hope for white.
okay. Well, so what is the winning plan? Let's say for the people at home, if you say, so
Change
queen
queens.
queen
Well,
d5 is the threat.
Yeah,
Normally you exchange queens.
changing queens is certainly fine for black,
Yeah.
and then just bringing the king over to because the black rook will prevent white's king from getting any activity. And
Probably white has to be. I mean, he has to aim for exchange of queens because the black's plan is also could be rook d2. And if it's your move, put the rook here and put the rook on d3.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah. So
You see? And then you can just hit the g pawn. And the black's, I mean, white's pawns.
yeah. I mean,
Don't
queen
do
e3
much.
looks like the normal move, but I guess then it's
Rook
also
a2.
possible to move like rook a2.
And rook a3 then.
And then there is still the threat of queen d5, and pawn on a5 is hanging.
Also queen d5 is a threat.
And
yeah.
queen
So-
d5 is still, yeah.
So this game will be over.
yeah, because there's very little that can go wrong, and it's in fact fairly straightforward.
Yeah.
I don't think it will be a very long game. No.
Okay. Jan, you got any questions for Mickey that you want to ask on air?
You're going to win some more games.
Well, that would be
There you go.
nice. Well, I think I'm still comfortably in last place. So, well, that would be nice.
Probably sharing
not to
it-
finish last would be
Sharing it with
something
Luke,
else.
probably.
Well,
yeah.
maybe. Who knows? But anyway, you know, at least it's slightly less bleak than it was before today.
The last time we played,
Yeah, this is a good question. When was the last time the two of you played, and the first time? The first time was that
Well,
early 90s or something?
It's a good test for
Yeah.
Jan's completely flawless memory. So,
Yeah. Right. Jan, when was that the first time?
we played in 1989 in a blitz game, where I blundered a rook, I remember.
On which square?
It was some sort of cow con. Which square? I don't know exactly. It was a blitz game.
Yeah.
That's, I think we also played in Dortmund in '94, actually, and we played last time in London, I think in 2008.
What do you think, Mickey? You got all questions correct?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
But I lost that
It
game.
was some kind of televised tournament. I remember our first game.
Yeah.
And I guess it was Staunton Memorial. Yeah, the last time we played.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
but we played quite a few games here and there.
Mm-hmm. Is there anyone in the audience who has a question for Mickey Adams? Now's your chance.
Played quite a few games in Wijk aan Zee, I guess. I'm not sure how many exactly, but
We played in '96,
I think
'98.
it is like my 14th year. I'm not sure how many years Jan managed, but
Yeah,
between
but
us we have a few years.
Well,
of
that's
good
what people
service.
tend to do, to calculate how many days they spend in Wijk aan Zee in their life. So this is your 14th?
I think so. Yeah.
So you're close to a year then, or more than a year maybe.
Yeah, I mean, one of them was a
No.
candidates match and not the tournament. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know if purists consider this to be still
We still have
part
to
of the
counts.
equation. It still
It
counts.
counts,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad about that.
I mean, it's in Wijk aan Zee. So.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that's a lot. So 2.5 weeks, 2.5 times 14, 35.
Yeah, it's
That's
a while. Yeah.
not bad.
Yeah.
You probably beat that, Jan.
It spent, I think, a year and a half or something in Wijk aan Zee, altogether.
Okay.
Because it started earlier.
Yeah,
The first tournament was in 1971.
that's your first tournament in Wijk aan
Yeah.
Zee. Okay.
Year I was born.
Yeah.
Although the
So
tournament
that's
would have
not
been
fair.
before that.
That's not fair. Jan already got going the year you were born. Yeah. So, okay, we'll take a very brief break and then we have a final look at the other games, if that's okay with you, Mick.
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We'll be back shortly. So. Welcome back to the Railway Museum in Utrecht, the venue for round 10 of the Tata Steel Chess Tournament. One of the two rounds that are not held in Wijk aan Zee but are played on a different location. The first one was last week at the Science Museum in Nemo in Amsterdam, and today we are in Utrecht. And you saw the brief clip of the arrival of the players, the tour of the museum they had before the start of the round. But that is that's almost 5 hours ago. We are now approaching the end of the round. There's still two games going between Ding Liren and Luc van Wely. Luc van Wely, who had a winning position and ended up in a position where he can only hope that he can make a draw, but it looks pretty grim for him. And there's Hui Fan, who's still playing against Pavel Elyanov. Jan, do you think that Luc van Wely has reasonable chances to hold this, or is it a very tough task?
Yeah, very tough, yeah. But of course, a good technique is needed from white side. But on the other hand, nobody would like to play this with black. It's very unpleasant. And I don't see any counterplay. Just wait for the kill, and that's all what black can do. But and it's too early to resign. I would hate to play this position with black.
Yeah. So it's just a way for white to find the right setup and the right way to proceed.
Yeah, white can slowly improve his pieces, but black can actually not do much.
Yeah. So that's pretty miserable for Luc van Wely. Then we have the other game, and that's
one more game. Yeah, who you found against
Pavel Elyanov.
Yeah, we were discussing this game before with Anish Giri, and we both concluded actually Elyanov. At first, it looked like he was not doing so well, but he probably had a very deep plan, and it looks like he did very well from an early stage already.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the position has become very technical, even more technical than in the other game of Van Wely.
And technical, you mean there should be a clean path for Elyanov to win this?
Yes, because there's absolutely no danger with the white pawns there on the queenside, and in fact, this is not going to take long. I mean, black has one pawn more on the king side and has an easy technical win.
Yeah,
He plays rook a3 now, then the king comes. You just protect the f7 pawn, then you go to, with the king you go up to d6. Let's say white has to play king f2, black plays king e7. Now I don't know what white has, no useful move here. Let's say king g2, f6, and white has to wait, and you come king d6, and it becomes very simple. Actually, you see, even if you try to keep a position like this or here, or in this position, you can already just take this pawn and go for a pawn ending. That is an easy win. So I don't expect this game to last long. Well, if you don't put your bishop on c6, it's also utterly hopeless. You have to put it passive, and well,
and if this
you have to put something like this, and then you have to put it here. But actually, I would probably resign this position with white, because it's absolutely hopeless.
Okay. Well, maybe this is a good moment for a brief recap, Jan, of the round that we've seen today. It was a much anticipated round because local hero Anish Giri, he was playing Magnus Carlsen, the world champ. It didn't bring any real fireworks, did it? It was a calm game. Anish got a nice position.
He had a nice opening.
Yeah.
He could be very happy with this opening. But somehow he lacked a bit of ambition, I would say, in this game.
Yeah, and then at the end, as Magnus put it, he just chopped off wood, and it petered out to a draw.
But it's funny because he had some. Because I tried to question Anish about this, whether he had any fears in the position, whether he was worried that anything may go wrong, and I have the feeling that he was a bit worried that. Black may push his c-pawn, and that could be a double-edged position where Magnus could actually outplay him. So I think he was a bit worried about that, although objectively speaking, that there was no reason to worry.
Yeah, and he keeps his plus score against Carlsen. He's won one game, and I think there have been 11 draws.
Yeah, I think only one game he was in grave danger. He could have lost it. He had black.
Yeah.
With white, he always has been very solid, like today.
Yeah. Can you understand that he maybe is even a bit cautious because he wants to keep that plus score?
Yeah, I can understand that. If he wouldn't have a plus score, but let's say a minus score, he would have lost the first game they played. He may have been more aggressive. Actually, it would have been better for the fights.
So in fact, it could work against you, this plus score thing.
Well, it worked against, let's say, the general public who wants to see more blood.
Yeah. So, well, that was the game of Anish and Magnus Carlsen, and probably the key game of the day was Fabiano Caruana's win, who came half a point closer to Magnus Carlsen. He's only trailing him by half a point, and with 3 rounds to go, well, maybe saying anything is possible is a bit big, but he's still within striking distance. And looking at the program, yeah, it's unclear how big his chances are, but he's definitely the one to watch. Apart from Magnus Carlsen, obviously here are the standings. You can see Magnus here has got 7 from 10, then half a point behind him is Caruana. Then there's already there's still this 1.5 point gap from Giri and So. Well, Ding Liren, he may go to 6, so that would be 1 point behind.
Yes, and but I think that Caruana still has an easier program than Magnus Carlsen. We should take this into consideration.
Yeah, he's playing Mamedyarov, he's playing Tomaszewski and Van Wely.
Yes, while Carlsen has to play So.
And Hui Fan.
And he has to play Mamediarov. No, not Ding Liren.
Ding Liren.
So at least these two games are quite tough.
But I think Caruana's black in two of his games.
Yes.
Well, anyway, it's all speculation, and there's very good reason to keep following the tournament. I think we are going to go off air, Jan. There's a free day tomorrow, and then on Friday the tournament continues with round 11. It will go back to Wijk aan Zee, the tournament. Yasser Seirawan will be the host or the commentator on Friday. There's Carlsen Hui Fan on the program that day, and Fabiano Caruana against Shahriar Mamedjarov. So only those two games are already a very good reason to watch that round or to visit Wijk aan Zee or to whatever. So what do you think about those two games, Jan?
Yeah, interesting games. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And tough.
Yeah, but is Fabiano? He was right today. Yeah, is he right again?
Has he two white games in a row? Well,
no. He has two blacks in the.
Yeah, that would make a difference. Okay, is being checked now.
Not sure.
Yeah, Mamedjarov is white.
Mamedjarov
was right.
Okay,
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's that is a round where Magnus Carlsen could try to take to increase his lead again. Let's see. That's all for Friday. We had a great day here in Utrecht, where we were sitting in an absolutely packed room, which is no longer the case. Most people have left, but only some loyal spectators are still here. But it was wonderful to be here in this beautiful museum, and we saw some really interesting games. We had some great guests on the program, Jan. And
yeah, sure. Yeah, it was very interesting. Yeah, sure.
So that that was a day well spent. We hope you enjoyed that, and watch the broadcast again on Friday would be my advice. And have a pleasant evening, of course.